Reaction Podcast. First Reactions Podcast.
That's the intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to First Reactions, officially a 5-star podcast.
Officially, we can say that. This is our tagline. How are you doing, Chung Boy?
I'm good, mate. It's been a beautiful bank holiday, 4-day weekend.
It's been so good.
Actually been really, really sunny in the UK.
Which is, like, unheard of.
Pretty rare.
But this time last year, not exactly this time, but, like, in February last year, it was full-on snowstorms, I'm pretty sure. And now it's, like, beautiful sun.
Beautiful.
So, beautiful.
Beautiful.
I can see myself in the viewfinder, and I can see this bit of hair. Sorry for the audio people.
For the audio people, Joe is touching his quiv.
And I'm not happy with it, so you're going to have to deal with it. I don't really care.
So, did you know that we actually have a review now?
I did. I think I know what you're going to say.
What's that then?
Okay, well, I'll let it happen, see what happens.
Well,
what do you think the review is?
Well, I think it's either you or someone that we know.
Okay.
Or someone who's just really got our memes because their name is Chung Boy.
Wait.
On Apple Podcasts, someone's left a review.
Was that not you?
No, it wasn't me. I thought it was you.
What?
So, Jamie then.
I'm very confused. There's a review on there that's from my mother.
No, not a rating, an actual review.
Yeah, an actual review. Yeah,
so,
same.
Like we said in the last one, and everyone, if you leave a review, we'll read it out. So, if you want to read it out message, that's great English.
Leave a review if you want us to read it out for the next episode.
The title is just I Love Game of Thrones by Chung Boy. The best Game of Thrones reactions ever, as well as Marvel and Pokemon and YouTube. Good memes.
Good memes.
Thank you very much, Chung Boy.
Mate, was that really not you?
No, I didn't even notice until 5 minutes ago when I checked before we started doing the podcast.
That's amazing. There's another review on there, I'm pretty sure, though.
There's another?
There should be. I'm pretty sure my mum left a review.
Oh, that's me. I left one, obviously because it's got my name, just saying we cheers to that. I forgot I did that. And then there is one, fantastically funny. If you need a good giggle, tune into the boys, spelt B-O-I-S.
She knows, Chung Boys.
What's Jake Gyllenhaal up to?
Yes, which is definitely going to be a reoccurring segment. We're going to do that more often.
I'm excited to find out what Jake Gyllenhaal's up to.
If you don't know, I think it was from like episode 3 or something.
Yeah,
we did.
Before we started the Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah, we did. We were just doing a review, I think, on like a Marvel theory, a Spider-Man theory.
Spider-Man.
And because Jake Gyllenhaal's in it, but he's only in the trailer for like 2 seconds, so we thought, why is he only in the trailer for 2 seconds? Maybe he's not in the movie. Maybe they just got him for a couple of seconds.
Fake movie.
We were like, so what's he up to then? What's he doing?
What's Jake Gyllenhaal doing?
So then it's become a meme.
Yeah. But the main meaty, juicy topic
Game of Thrones.
This episode, obviously.
Game of Thrones.
Oh no, my sword is over there.
Oh, he doesn't have his sword. I can stab him.
I went to reach for my sword for the audio.
For the audio people,
and now we're on even territory.
What? Is that how you use a sword?
I'm defending.
You're stabbing yourself.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, see? It worked.
I died for the audio people.
But Game of Thrones, episode 2.
Okay, yes, 100%. Let's get started.
Titled Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes, and I noticed. Never mind.
I noticed.
I was going to say something about night, and in my head I thought it was spelled differently, but it wasn't.
Oh, so if it was night as in the Night King of the Seven Kingdoms.
Because it wasn't, and it was literal night. But I think they were trying to make us think it might be the Night King. But it obviously wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was called before until afterward I watched the episode.
Right, yeah. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Night of the Seven Chung Boys.
Okay, so I put down some notes for this episode.
Okay.
Because
while you were watching it?
Yeah, because there was a couple of things that I knew I wanted to talk about that I didn't want to forget. Some quotes. So the first thing that I wrote down, because it was a quote that I'd wanted to remember, was when it was literally the first scene when Jaime's on trial for being here.
Yeah, so he's just got to Winterfell. and he's standing up in front of the class as the teacher, Daenerys, is telling him off
Making him write on the whiteboard.
because he killed her dad.
I mean, yeah. Which is, you know, if you're the
quite a big
queen
thing.
and you've killed people just because they didn't bow to you, and you've got the person that killed your father
your
in front of
dad.
you, you'd think he be deaded.
You would think that he'd be deaded, but it was for just reasons, and she knows that.
Yeah. I liked the fact that it was the first time that Sansa and Dany had agreed on anything, and then Sansa was like, actually, I take it back.
Actually, do you want to be best friends? No.
Oh well, that scene that was a
That's
good
later
scene,
on.
but
Okay.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. The quote that I thought was really really good
Give us a quote.
is Jaime was saying, I wouldn't take back anything that I'd done.
Do it all again.
I'd do it all again, yeah, because he was fighting for his family and fighting for his whatever. And then Bran just goes, the things you do for love. And I was like, fucking mic
Drop
drop.
the mic.
And then Jaime he was full on, like he was like, yes, I'd do everything I did again. And then Bran was like, would you kick me out of a window though, mate? And Jaime was like, shit, I forgot about that again. It's like he keeps forgetting. He only remembered last episode.
He just got back. But that's exactly what Jaime said to Cersei when he pushed Bran out the window. The things you do for love.
Yeah, it was
cool. And I was watching
so
that.
good.
I was like,
yeah, that was why I wrote it down, because I was like, have to remember that for all the parallels and the callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been so many callbacks all the way through these last episodes, which you'd expect because they're wrapping everything up, aren't they? So you'd want it to kind of be like cyclical,
as subtly as the music that they use.
Yeah,
Like when Jon was arriving, I think the song was called something like literally "The King's Arrival," and they used it in the first ever episode when Robert Baratheon was coming in.
Yeah.
Doing it again.
It was like a
when Jon's coming
remastered
in.
version or something, wasn't it? But
I don't know. It was the same song.
Yeah, sick. Okay, so then Sansa decides that she trusts Brienne.
She likes
and
Brienne.
Brienne comes in to save Jaime. So maybe a bit later on, because they keep on saving each
They're
other,
all
maybe
switcheroo.
Jaime's gonna be saving Brienne.
Yes. Well, I think. I do
Going
think.
back to your theory that you were saying last episode
Saying last time.
about Jaime dying for Brienne.
I still think he'll sacrifice himself for someone. Probably Brienne.
Yeah.
It could be Bran. I think it would be one of the two, but probably Brienne, I think.
And Brienne.
Brienne.
Combine the two.
Brienne flakes.
But then I added onto that theory that maybe Jaime tries to save himself and Brienne steps in the
You
way.
did, yeah.
And sacrifices herself and Jaime lives on. There's been, I think, enough foreshadowing and hints for both of them. Like, if either happened,
Yeah.
I'd be like,
It would
that
work
makes
out.
sense. So who could die? I don't know. Who could be deaded?
It would be something that a knight would do.
Oh, which brings us on to the knighting. That scene, like, proper goosebumps. I didn't cry
Really?
this episode,
Oh, okay.
but, like, goosebumps. Brienne, have we ever seen Brienne smile?
Not like that.
But
She
that
doesn't know how to smile.
It looked weird.
Yeah.
It literally looked like she didn't know how to smile. It looked like Boogie 298's teeth. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Mate, it looked
He's
like
got
that
new
because
teeth.
he's got new teeth, and I was like, "What are those then?"
It doesn't look right on his body.
No, and it didn't
Looks
look. I don't think
photoshopped
I've
on.
ever seen Brienne's teeth before, so it just looked really weird. She's like,
I am a knight now. It was quite a cool scene though, because it's something that
Oh,
she's
such a good
obviously
scene.
always wanted.
yeah.
But it's not happening in the world because she's a lady,
I love the fact that the only reason
which
that
sucks.
Brienne and Jaime haven't like gone any further is because every time that they're like in a situation they could do, they're surrounded by like
Of people.
5 people. I loved their dialogues with each other, how the characters reacted, especially because the writers had to show that they cared about each other, but in a way that showed no like affection.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like touch each other
No.
or like go anywhere near
But
each
you
other.
still
Really,
know that,
yeah.
and especially when Tyrion and Jaime were talking on the castle front, and then he sees Brienne, he's like,
Yeah, he just like talking to my
All
brother, talking
attention's
to
gone.
my brother. There's Brienne. Nosh her off.
that's what his thoughts were.
Yeah.
There's Brienne. No.
Well, then there's the scene that he talks to Brienne And Brienne just turns around in the middle of the conversation and goes, "What is happening? You've not insulted me this whole conversation."
Yeah.
And then he says, and another thing I wrote down, "I'll be honoured to fight under your command if you'll have me." And Brienne's face, it fucking made her wet, mate. She was like, "Oh yeah, of course you will.
Of course you can.
You'll fight under my command."
But no, it's good. It's nice.
But that was a nice scene. I couldn't
characters.
help think that she was like, "Oh, I'm horny now." Because like, if there's one thing that's gonna make Brienne like turned on, it would definitely be something to do with like fighting and war. And Jaime's like, "I'll serve for you, fight with you," and she's like, "Yes, you will." Oh my god. After just saying that my mum watches this podcast, sorry about that, Mum. Taking a drink of water.
I'll take a drink of water too.
There's been lots of hints at Tyrion not doing very well.
Not
like
doing
getting
very
things wrong. Like
Yeah.
Sansa said last episode that she thought he was the cleverest person in the world, but not anymore.
Not
or
anymore.
Something like that. And then this episode, obviously everyone realised Cersei ain't coming.
Cersei ain't coming. How did Tyrion not realise?
Yeah, mate, how
Dany
did
was
he not
like,
realise?
What you doing? You're supposed to be in my hand. You're here for your mind, but you're not really helping very much.
Well,
You keep messing up.
Your mind's a bit stupid at the
But
moment.
Daenerys trusted Cersei as well, so she's also a bit of a monk.
Yeah, they all trusted. I mean, they kind of trusted what Tyrion
was
said,
saying, yeah.
which makes it. I mean, he is the hand of the queen of the hand,
She is the queen of the hand.
so he should be able to, like advise her well enough. So it is. I think it is Tyrion's fault, but I do really like Tyrion, and
Me too.
I like the fact that Ser Jorah came in his aid. And
Yeah,
was
and he was like, come on, give him a chance, which I think he will come up with some... After he's had his knockdowns, so he's messed up with Cersei, he messed up in, I think it was Meereen, previously, when Daenerys went away and he was like in charge. And basically the Masters came and uprose against him, and they started sieging Meereen, and Dany came back at the right minute with the dragons and fucked him. So he's been messing up, and he's been knocked down, and he's been given another chance by Daenerys, and thanks to Jorah. So I think he'll come up with some kind of special, clever plan, either to do with battling the dead in the Battle of Winterfell, which is next episode. Oh my fucking god! Or after that, to do with going down south with Cersei and the army down there.
There's been 2 conversations now, and I can't remember the second one, but it was this episode. So there was. I think I just remembered. I can't remember who it was with. I remembered the picture in my brain because I'm autistic like Bran. So the first one was Tyrion's conversation with Cersei when he realizes that she's pregnant, and for some reason it just cuts. Like we don't get to see the end of the conversation, and that really annoyed me last season when I was like,
trigger.
I was like,
tell you, still
surely there's a reason that they cut that scene because of what they talked about. So I thought it was going to be like a relatively big plot device.
There could be.
And that
something
Tyrion
still could happen.
I feel like Tyrion might be going against Dany, but then everything we've seen so far hasn't pointed towards that. So, but that conversation was then brought up when Tyrion was talking to Jaime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The second scene where they've cut it off, and I've been like, this will be so interesting. Tyrion talks to Bran.
Oh,
and he goes,
in this episode.
Tyrion goes to talk to Bran and says, tell me everything. Bran goes, nah, mate.
Nah, you're right.
I know everything, so it's going to be a long one.
Can't be asked.
And Tyrion goes, well, if only we were locked in a castle or something like that. So I think the 2 scenes that have been cut off at a really interesting point of a conversation will hopefully have some sort of link. So there will be the conversation that he had with Cersei. Whatever they talked about, he wanted to find out information about that from Bran, maybe. And that's why we haven't seen...
Tyrion wanted to find out information about a conversation that he had?
No, so he had a conversation with Cersei, whatever they were talking about.
Yeah.
He then wants to find out more information on that, so he's asking Bran not about a conversation he's had.
Yeah, I think they'll probably have a chat again, and it'll have maybe a payoff.
I just hope so, because they would have been really interesting conversations. But if the only reason they didn't have that conversation is they could be us writing it,
ran out of time.
Annoying? Yeah. So I've written down a girl's mouth around your cock.
No, that's not even in the Game of Thrones notes. That's in a separate one.
That's just in one of my notes.
It's a personal note.
I can't remember who says it.
Tyrion says it. You just wrote that.
Yeah, I wrote it down without any context, and I can't remember now.
It's because it's when he's talking to Jaime, and they're talking about that they're going to die in the battle, and then Tyrion says, "Well, I wouldn't really want to die here in the cold in the north. I'd rather die
Oh yeah, they both say it,
with
don't
wine
they?
and the girl's mouth." I was about to say girl's cock around my mouth. But it's a throwback because he says that in the first season as well.
Yeah. That's why I wrote it down. I just couldn't remember who'd said it. And I think I wrote it down as well because they both said it at the same time, and it was. I thought it made me like actually laugh out loud whilst I was watching it by myself. So I wrote it down without writing who said it.
It's alright, it came from a funny moment.
I did. A funny first reactions.
Exactly. Podcast 5 stars.
Officially 5 stars.
With 3
TM.
reviews.
Copyright.
That was my phone just falling off my lap for the audio people.
For the audio people.
And the video people.
Yeah, because you couldn't see that.
You can't see.
One thing that I was talking about with the Tyrion moment, with everyone thinking that Tyrion's not doing very well, he might not be... I think because of what Ser Jorah said, he will end up being the hand of the queen.
Queen of the hand.
Queen of the hand for for like the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
But maybe he stops being the hand.
And then Jorah gets...
Or either way, maybe that's why the badge is in the Aftermath trailer, because he doesn't die, but he doesn't have the badge. Arya's
Mate,
got...
coming up with all the predictions. Very tinfoil hatty.
Arya... Arya...
Hey.
There you go. Has got a new weapon, so maybe she doesn't need Needle. That's why that's in the trailer. So maybe all of the characters just don't have those items anymore after the Battle of Winterfell.
The dragons die, so Daenerys doesn't need the dragon bracelet.
I mean, maybe.
Jon Snow's Longclaw dies.
Yeah. I don't want. No, I'm saying that they don't have the items anymore.
I get.
Not that the.
I get it. No, I was just adding on to it as a meme.
Longclaw dies. That's what the blood is on the sword.
Yeah, see?
It's Longclaw's blood.
Longclaw's bleeding out.
Yeah. One of the best scenes of the whole entire episode, Sansa and Dany.
Uh-huh.
Like, their interaction. The fact that Jorah also told him to go and talk to Sansa. Like, Jorah's fucking... He knows his shit this episode.
Yeah, he's got it on point.
Yeah, he's like, Tyrion's great, don't get rid of him.
Out. You should speak to Sansa. I hope it.
Fucking sick.
Go on, Jorah, lad.
That whole
Still not
entire...
going to get some, though, is he?
No, he's forever friend zone. I think he's realised, he's accepted.
Yeah, maybe.
He's friend zone. But he still comes in like, "Milady." Every time he says it, it just sounds like he's got what are those hats? Fedoras.
He's tipping his fedora.
Sound like he's tipping his fedora. So the Sansa and Dany scene, I thought that was amazing. The fact that they managed to write a scene where these two characters start to like each other again,
yeah,
and then in that same instance instantly hate each other.
By like, well, the North pledged to not bow to a king before, so probably not. And then Dany's like, oh, well,
so well done.
Uh-huh.
Like the fact, but that I really thought this was going to be. I did think it would be a bit too much for like in one scene they go from hating each other to being best friends. So I'm glad it ended on some kind of
I don't think they'll ever be best friends. They'll just possibly learn to like each other.
But I thought it was so good. I was really, really impressed with the writing, performances. It was believable that they both liked each other. And then that scene's interrupted. They were about to have a full-fledged argument.
Theon.
Penis lad. Non-penis lad. He comes in. And their Sansa and Theon's reunion was really, really nice.
It was quite nice.
Yeah.
Gave me little shivers.
It was a good little payoff.
After he took Winterfell from the Starks, then pledging his sword to defending it for the Starks.
Yeah.
He's almost redeemed himself.
Yeah,
almost.
I mean, he has lost to Penis, so we've got to give him some...
Yeah, that's true. Cut him some slack.
Cut him some foreskin off.
Circumcision. Before Dany comes into the room to see Sansa, she's talking to Jon Royce, who is the big guy who's always in a breastplate from the Vale. She spoke to him before the Battle of the Bastards about bringing the Knights of the Vale to help out, which was something we didn't see in the show until it actually happened. And in the first episode, you see Sansa talking to him on one of the corridors.
I noticed that.
And you don't know what they're talking about.
Twice.
It could
Twice we've
just
seen
be,
them talk to each other. That can't be a coincidence.
Could just be, but...
They would have just chosen a different character, surely,
Yeah,
that
probably
he
not.
was talking to.
So I think they're planning something. I don't know what.
Agreed. I think that's going to be it. There's going to be a big,
Big little twist.
there's going to be something really bad that happens with the Battle of Winterfell, and then last minute, those chunks come, or whatever, whatever they decide.
Could be something to do with saving the day, or it could be something to do with them planning against Daenerys, because they're not going to bow to the the throne.
True. I think it could be to do with that. Because
a nice
he's
little
always
Easter egg.
he's always given daggers to Dany, hasn't he?
Mhm.
Even when he bows and says "my queen" and all that kind of stuff.
he's not impressed at all.
Yeah.
But that's a cool little Easter egg. I think something's going to happen from it.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. Predictions. Highlight video.
Cut back in a few weeks when we're right again.
Yes, we're always right. Well, speaking about
Just about
always
being
being
right.
right, the feather.
The fair, yeah.
I spent so long in that last shot of, well, first of all, of them in the crypts trying to see if the feather was there.
Analysing it
There's
like the
something
Terminator.
in what's her name?
Lyanna.
Lyanna Stark's hand, but it's like draping down. I think it's like a necklace or something. It doesn't
Okay.
look like a feather.
I don't know. Yeah.
Because a feather doesn't
I
drape.
didn't see the feather. So we weren't
So-
right about that, but...
And then again, every little bit of when they were outside, when they went to go see the White Walkers come in at the end, I was looking at every single little bit, waiting to see like a feather
Really?
falling down, and there wasn't. No feathers.
Do you reckon there just isn't going to be a feather in the whole season?
I think we were wrong about the feather.
But something we were right about, probably, is that the cameras just stopped. Something that we think that we have right now is the Night King's target.
Yes. Oh, mate, it was almost seemed too obvious when they were like, "It's Bran."
It's
I was
Bran.
like, "Of course it's
And
Bran."
then everyone's just like, all right. No
Yeah,
other
true.
questions it.
And then he's like, "To erase all memory of man." I was a bit like,
And then in that scene, Sam says, I can't remember what he says, but he says something about writing a book, or that memories can be stored in books and stuff as well. So if he's going to write it down, he could write the Song of Ice and Fire the whole season. It was cool.
Okay,
It's cool. But yeah, before the season started, the Night King actor said, we'll find out who the target is. And Bran says that that's his target. That's not definite.
True, yeah. I feel like there could be a little twisty with that, and they're making us think it's Bran, and everyone protects Bran, and then he gets there, realizes his real target's over there, and then just fucks
like,
off. And
"Psych!"
just, yeah, whatever his real target would be, I don't know.
Yeah.
But shit, there was one thing you said then that made me think of something.
You made a face when I mentioned Sam writing a book.
Yes, that was
There
it.
you go.
Good chung. So imagine if the whole entire story was a true story that's happened, but we're experiencing it as Samwell's writing it from like
Oh.
when he's like 80 years old,
And
the reason that he's the first person that kills a White Walker
It's because
and that
he put
he's
it
like
in.
known as all these amazing things is because he's writing the story.
I'm the first person to kill a White Walker, and I killed a Fen.
Yeah, because like that scene in the
Yeah.
show when he says all those things, I remember thinking that's so funny. It's literally like just to remind everyone that Samwell's not like just some random character. He's actually a good character. He's writing it
bless
himself.
Samwell.
I think that's a really good
That's
theory.
funny. That's funny. But the plan that they come up with is for Bran to just chill in the Godswood because he's got the Night King's mark on him, so he
Yeah.
knows where he is. And then what they're going to do then? Capture him, kill him in the Godswood. They're using Bran as bait.
Yeah, but why in the Godswood? That doesn't make any sense. Is that because it's away from everyone else?
Possibly.
But it's not really, is it? It's
not
still
really.
next to
Yeah, it's next to
everyone else.
Winterfell Castle.
You think as soon as they realise that, they'd be like, right, we've got everyone here in Winterfell. Let's like move everyone away from Winterfell, so we've at least got somewhere that the like women and children are staying. Because if they're
In the
staying,
crypts.
if they're staying in the crypts, they're not really safe, are they? Because they're
No.
where everyone's battling anyway.
No, are they?
Which brings me on to a theory that I've seen floating around on Reddit and such
Reddit
about
and
the
such?
crypts. Do you think
The Bloods and the Crips.
the what?
The Bloods and the Crips. They're the two rival gangs in LA, sorry. So
That's such a
you're
niche reference. I have no idea what that. You just went the Bloods and the Crips.
Bloods and the Crips.
I thought you were like
Right.
rapping or something.
Yeah, go on. What do you see on Reddit then?
So
r/LA gangs.
yeah, on that Reddit. Yeah. Bear with. I want to see if r/Reddit LA gangs is a Reddit. There is a deader thing here. We need to create one.
Make it.
They have turf wars on the Reddit. What were we talking about?
You said you saw something about the Crips.
Yes. So apparently in the preview for season 3, which, side note, I think we should watch. Have you seen that yet?
Episode 3, yeah.
Episode 3, not season 3. You've seen it?
Yeah, good.
Oh, god damn it. I was hoping we could give our live reactions to it, so I've purposely not watched it.
Nah, I have to see it straight away.
Okay, so in the preview of season... Oh my god, not season 3. Episode
3.
In the preview of season...
8, episode 3. Just say the next episode.
So in a preview of the next episode, there's a voiceover from John that said, "The dead's already here," or something like that.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, so... They've just seen the dead's there, so I can't see a scenario where you'd be saying the dead's already here. If the dead weren't literally in Winterfell,
in the crypts, because the
Night
King brings them back to life.
Night King brings back like Ned Stark and
all the ladies.
All the ladies. I couldn't think of
all the Lady Starks and all the Lord Starks.
Is Catelyn Stark? Is she in the crypts?
I don't know actually.
And Lyanna Stark, was her body brought back to the crypts? I know
so,
they've got all the
statues there. The statues come back to life.
The statues. No, but imagine if all of the people that they want to like make safe are in the crypts, and then all the dead come out of the crypts, and they're like, that's why Arya's running away, because she was checking something.
Checking people
she was
were
like,
okay in the crypts.
I reckon she was because she's a warrior that's definitely not going to be down in the crypts, but also all of the like people need someone to, I guess, like look after them. So maybe she's the person that will end up looking after them. And then she's running away from all the dead that are coming out the crypts when she's going through the halls.
Oh, me imagine.
If somehow Sean Bean comes back as a white, I'll lose my shit. If that happens, then next episode,
I think something like that will happen.
If we see Sean Bean as a white,
what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I feel like I should do something really strange next episode, or like really stupid. I'll think of something. I'll do it next episode if Sean Bean's a white.
But if that genuinely happens, that would be insane.
In the conversation when Bran is going on about he's the target and I've got the mark and all that kind of stuff, and they're preparing what's going to happen.
Yes.
I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Ser Jorah, who said, "Will the Dragonfire have any effect on the Night King? Will that be able to kill him?"
Said it.
I can't remember who said it.
Might have been Arya.
Maybe. And then
he's like, "Oh, no one's tried it."
Bran said, "I don't know, no one's tried it." But the way he said it sounded so sassy, and then the camera cut to Dany. It was like the show was trying to say, sorry, in the scene where she had 2 flying dragons, that none of them went down and burnt the Night King. Like, what? That would be the first thing that you do.
Yeah.
You've got literally... She brought all 3, didn't she, with her?
Yeah.
3 dragons. One of them's in the middle, 2 of them
and
flying
the Night
around.
King's just stood there with one javelin.
Like, they can't, like, jump up and attack the dragon or anything, can they? The only chance would be this one javelin that he throws at the flying dragon and not the one that's sat. But anyway, let's just not go on a big rant about that whole entire scene. But it was almost like Bran was like, "You're an idiot. Why didn't you burn the Night King while she had a chance?"
I don't think Dragonfire would stop him, though.
I
feel like that would be, too easy. Because they could just go, fly over to him. And there you go. That's done.
Then all the White Walkers just drop dead.
When, I think it's season 5, in the Hold the Door episode, might be season 6, one of them, the Children of the Forest make a ring of fire around where they are, hoping that will stop them from coming through, and the Night King just walks straight through the fire.
Yeah. I think it's like magical fire. I'm not sure it's actual fire.
It's supposed to be.
But like, magical fire is essentially
similar to Dragonfire, yeah.
Breathe, because they are magical creatures that breathe fire. So
they're real.
They're real. So yeah, I don't think the Night King will die to the fire. I feel like it might be hinting at a scene where they try that, and the Night King's like just walking towards the dragon whilst it's breathing fire all over it, and then like there's a puff of smoke, and then the Night King just keeps on walking through like a Terminator or some shit.
Puff of smoke, and he brings a rabbit out of a hat.
Here I am, guys. Is this your card? The Night King breaks into Winterfell. It's like, here's Johnny, but there's like a crack, and he goes like, "Is this your card?"
Is this your card? Yes. And then they just all turn around and leave.
It's a good magic trick.
What a big
Only
magic
killed
trick.
lots of people.
It's worth it for the trick.
Yeah. Do you have any idea what that is?
Sam going off on John,
Yeah. What's that about?
beating him off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I
Don't know.
Right.
Is that when they're talking at the top of the battlements?
Probably, but I can't remember what was said. I just
It's
wrote
because
going off on John.
John says, "Are you sure you don't want to be in the crypts?" And then he's like,
Oh yeah.
"I killed the Wetworker."
Yeah.
And Ghost is there.
Yes, Ghost is there, but like
Yeah.
not properly.
Yeah,
and,
he's just chilling, just being a good boy.
and only for that one scene, and doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like a CGI. It looks like it's just got a PNG of him and put him in the
It
background.
does. I swear, it doesn't move.
But still, Ghost.
Ghost,
Yeah, Ghost. Good boy.
Why haven't you included Ghost creators? Well, because it takes so much CGI to animate every single little bit of hair on him. Sticks him in the background of one scene for like 2 seconds. Just do that more often then. If you're going to do it once, why haven't you done that in every single episode prior?
No, he'll wreck some whites in the next
He
episode.
better do. They can't
will.
just pop him up there and that be the only reference.
If he
to him.
doesn't,
There will be
I'll be
riots.
disappointed.
It's like that and Clegane Bowl are the only two things that need to happen.
What about Clegane Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, there's not been much hint to it because
No.
the mountain's not there. So I think after
Later
Battle of
on.
Winterfell, it's like Battle of Winterfell is the lead up to Clegane Bowl, basically, at this
Yeah.
point.
Battle of Winterfell's the hype man. Clegane Bowl is the
Yeah.
main act.
Exactly. Battle of Winterfell is Jake Paul versus Deji. Clegane Bowl, KSI versus Logan Paul.
KSI.
KSI!
Okay, so we've briefly touched on Brienne and Jaime with all of the other people that were around them, including Tormund. And in that scene, Tormund's story,
Yeah, when he was 10 years old,
what the fuck?
he killed a giant, and I went to bed with the giant's sister and sucked on her teats for 3 months.
Now drinks giant milk.
Yeah, that's why he's so strong.
They spent so much time on that story. Like, if you think about a general percentage, I reckon it was a good 1 to 2% of the whole entire episode was just that story. Why?
Yes, Tormund.
If there's like storylines that I feel like we've missed out on and things like that, and we spent that long
The
on
Tyrion
a
and
giant
Bran conversation.
story. Yeah, mate. If we don't get a payoff from those, but we got giant's milk, I suck giant
Yeah, I liked
titties.
it though.
I did think it was going to go a bit strange when he was saying like, I got into bed with the wife's giant, the giant's
The
wife,
wife's giant.
and then she woke up, and I was like, where's this going? What's going to happen? He's 10 in this
Yeah,
story.
he's 10 as well.
Which also, he was 10 and was sucking her tits. Was it? Because that's like too young for it to be like a sexual thing, but it's way too old for it to
Mate,
be a normal thing where you'd
there's-
suck tits.
There's no rules for the free folk. The wildlings don't abide by any rules.
Clearly. I mean, what situation do you kill a giant and then sleep in its bed and it be all right? I mean,
That's Tormund.
I don't think it's a. I think it's a story that he's just making up. But like, still, what?
No, it
What the fuck?
made me laugh when he got to Winterfell. And then at the end of his scene where he's saying hi to John, he just looks at the camera and goes, "Is the
Where's
big
the-
lady here?"
Yeah, that was so good. Every single reference to him, like, just wanted to fuck Brienne. It was,
Yeah.
it was so good. And then there's one point where she says, like, well, I'm glad you're here. And then instantly she realizes she didn't want to lead him on. So she's like, well,
for
I
the
mean,
battle.
I'm glad you
For the
didn't.
battle.
I'm glad you didn't die. Not like I'm glad you're here right now, kind of thing. Yeah, but and then after he tells the story, he drinks the milk, and it like all falls down his
Beard.
oh, and it's
Lovely.
giant milk. I don't like milk in general, so giant's milk is like much worse.
Maybe you'd like giant's milk. You never tried it.
No, I mean I don't like the thought of milk.
Don't knock it.
Like you're drinking
I get it.
giant growth hormone. Like no wonder. To be fair, no wonder he's like quite a big guy. I like the fact that when his group of people, to like the people that were at the
last
Umber
hearth.
place,
Yeah.
last hearth, when they came back and they used Tormund as like a jump scare when he jumps on John.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, here's
Ah.
everyone else. I'm Tormund." So we've talked about the Sir Brienne of Tarth scene, haven't we? With the teeth. Then that scene ends. Well, it ends with a song, which is a little bit weird. But the reason
Podrick singing,
he's
monster.
pretty good at singing. To be fair, I was quite impressed. But the reason that they start singing is because Tywin, not White Red, he's been dead for a while, not Tywin.
Because Tywin is dead, and they've only just realised.
So they start singing. No, Tyrion decides, he's like...
They've run out of wine. And he's like,
I can't remember what he says.
Can someone give us a song?
Nah, he says something before that.
We've run out of wine.
No, someone else says, best get to bed. And then he's like, no. And he like gets really annoyed because he didn't want to go to bed. And I just remember thinking that's like me on every night out. Everyone's like, right, I'm going to go now. He's like, no, wait, we can carry on drinking.
Shots.
And then you're like, there's no more alcohol. All right, well, has anyone got a song? That's me. We know alcohol. Let's just do something else.
We have one more thing that we've not talked about.
What?
Until now.
Until now. What is it?
Arya and Gendry.
Oh my god. I didn't put any notes on this because I just hated it so much. I couldn't watch. I couldn't. Oh
Really?
my god.
Mate,
How did you feel?
it was a bit weird, wasn't it?
So weird.
But then again,
But then again,
can't blame her. Like she thinks that she's gonna die.
mate, this is like the most rated R podcast I think
I had
we've done.
to Google how old Maisie Williams was though, because she looks like she's 12.
She does.
She's actually
yeah.
22.
Yeah, but which she kind of looks 22 in real life, but I think they make her look a bit younger in the show. So then that's
Well,
why
when they
this
started
was...
the show, she was about 9 or 10. So,
But that's why this is so, like, it just feels so weird.
Yeah,
it's
'cause-
literally we've watched her grow up, and then she's
to the
having
viewers,
sex.
she's still a young girl.
Yeah, it's so. Oh, I hated it.
You know the meme of the guy sweating loads. I saw one saying when Arya asks Gendry how many girls he slept with, and it's straight away.
He's like, "What's the right answer?"
3.
Yeah. He's like, "I've not been counting." Yes, you have, mate. He goes, "All right, 3."
He sticks her with the pointy end.
Oh god! And there's that line. She's like, "I'm not the red lady or red woman or whatever."
Yeah, take off your pants.
I thought that was good. And he was like, "I wasn't having sex with her, I promise. She just stripped me."
Put leeches on me.
Leeches on-
Oh man, but yeah, bloody hell.
So, best scene of the episode for you? What do you think?
Ooh, the last scene's cool, obviously, because
The reveal. Yeah.
they're revealing the White Walkers are there and the Night King's not there that we see.
Oh yeah, true. We've not seen him
But
yet.
in the preview for the next episode, you see a dragon, like a Night King, white dragon.
Oh, the whitey dragon.
But that doesn't mean he's at Winterfell, but probably.
He could just be controlling the dragon to do whatever, and he's not on it.
But probably, yeah.
It would explain why it's taken them so long to get to Winterfell if the Night King had to do something else in the meantime whilst the army's coming, or he's like figured out a secret plan or something like that.
And the scene with Jon telling Dany the truth.
Yes.
She was pissed, man.
She was... Yeah, we've not even talked about that, have
No.
we? She was, like, so annoyed. Like,
Yeah.
you saw all of the emotions go through her eyes. Again, Game of Thrones being amazing with actors just showing emotions just
Without
from
saying
their,
anything.
Yeah, with their eyes, like, slightly changing.
So good.
But she went from being angry to being like, oh my god, to being angry. Like, she just showed lots of different versions of being angry, which is
It's
really
because
cool.
literally everything, her whole life, is her being the heir to the Iron Throne and getting the Iron Throne. Like, literally, there's nothing else.
And the person that she's said now she full on loves to Sansa.
She did say that,
like,
yeah.
and seems really
She
committed
dropped the
to
L
this
word.
person, and she's just realised the
All of a
person that
sudden.
she loves is going to be the reason she's not on the Iron Throne. Oh,
If Jon wants it. I don't think he'd want it. Next time Jon texts her, she'll just hit him with a, I'm fine.
no, really, I'm fine.
I'm fine, Jon.
Or like, okay, full stop.
Hey.
Yeah,
Send
she'll
her a really
K-dot him.
long message about his parents and growing up and
That was
not knowing
essentially
who he
the
was.
response.
And then just, okay.
Mate, that would be a good meme, like a text form of their conversation. Everything Jon said, and then just K.
Good meme.
Also,
Good meme.
again, revealing the crypts. So that's definitely in the crypts, fire and blood in the crypts.
I like that because that's the Targaryen
Yeah,
house
a little twisty.
words
Um,
motto.
House words motto. I think there was symbolism from the trailers. It just wasn't the feather, and the crypts were the symbolism that we should have spotted about the lineage and all that kind of stuff, because they're in the crypts for both of the reveals.
They're in the
So-
But no, a mainly set up episode with lots of good moments between characters that we like, setting up for the big battle.
Yes,
I
and
can't wait.
we didn't get a single scene in the South. I went
No.
up for the South for some reason.
Didn't get a single scene in the South.
But yeah, that was all. I was expecting the
Cersei.
first full North episode was going to be the Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah, I think anything.
But literally nothing from Cersei.
Cersei's still waiting for those elephants.
Yeah, well, she got one trunk. Oh no! I don't want to think about that one, please. They lingered on it so much as well. I just hoping it was going to cut at one point. And then
Really?
you see side boob. I didn't need to see Arya side boob. Oh god! Imagine if Gendry had gone. Are you gonna fuck me then?
Oh my god. And then it cuts to black.
And then he goes, "Ba-dink, dink, 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 dink." Right then.
First reactions podcast.
Imagine that's when it cuts. That was the end of our episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye. But no, good episode again. Love me some Game of Thrones.
It was so good. So out of let's do every episode and compare it to the last episode of what we preferred. So
Right.
is it better or worse than last episode, do you think?
I think I like the first episode better. I don't really. I mean, I am comparing them, but I was about to say I don't compare them.
I don't compare
no.
them apart from in this situation where we are
I think it's
comparing them.
because they've both been set up episodes, really.
Yeah.
But I love all the characters, and it's taken 7 seasons to get to this point. So any character with any scene with any character that we know, like, I'll watch that for however long it's on for. I don't care.
I really liked Jamie's reunions with all the characters, but I do feel like for reunion-wise, which felt all the reunions had been sick, the first episode was chock full of them. So that's why I think it's just about a little bit better.
And Jon Snow riding a dragon.
Oh, and Jon Snow riding a dragon. Yeah, there was dragons, but there was Ghost in this episode. So, pretty even, I think. Pretty even episodes. First is better, but pretty even.
Maybe because it's the first one we've seen in 2 years. It's like, oh.
Yeah, we're just so excited
it's
about it.
only a week later now.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people saying how it's all filler. I'm like,
It's not
what?
filler at all.
No, it's all plot. Like, we're finding out so much information and we're building up to this big fight. Like,
Oh, so we won't have an episode for 2 years, and we'll go straight into a fight with characters that are all going to die,
yeah.
and you won't care about it. So
We won't have 2 episodes where we build up the ideas.
so you actually care about them dying
Yeah,
because you
just
can't remember
throw
their
them in
stories because it's
baskets.
been for 2 years.
Sorry, I triggered you. Jesus. It wasn't my
No, you didn't trigger me. It's a fucking normies trigger me.
You got so triggered.
Yeah.
Rightly, though, like... I'm glad I told you that.
That's my first reaction. That's a real first reaction.
Yeah,
Okay,
like...
it's 5 stars.
I mean, the only post I saw was people saying, stop calling it filler. So I didn't see anyone actually call it filler, but, you know.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying that, well, not this episode yet, because I only saw it today, but I've overheard conversations of people saying that the last episode was boring and stuff like... Getting the
They're probably the same people that thought the first
only
couple of
started
seasons.
watching it this season.
Yeah, because they're like,
Ooh, what's the big
Oh,
hype?
everyone watches Game of Thrones.
Mate.
I'm gonna watch it now.
Pokimane did a live stream where she watched Game of Thrones season 1 to 7 recap.
Was it my video?
No, imagine. No, she was doing like a recap of each season, but she's never seen it. This was her first watching it, so she could catch up for the episodes that are coming out. Like,
They're the kind of people that say it's all filler
Well,
and
this
it's
is-
boring.
This is boring. I watched lots of recaps just to watch this boring thing.
shut up. Don't watch.
No. Alright, I'm going to get too annoyed if I carry on saying
Yeah, let's
talking
move
about
on.
That,
So, this, oh my god, my hair has got so much worse.
It's got a spiky boy.
Got a little spiky boy for the audio people.
He just patted his spiky boy, which
so-
is his head, not his penis.
Right then. This next segment, this little
segment. I couldn't think
Yeah.
of another word for segment.
Just a little bit.
Is going to be called People Be Deaded, and
be dead.
usually, if there's an episode where people be deaded, we would just have this bit and then talk about the people that be deaded.
Okay.
But we've got two things that are coming up that I think people are going to be deaded in.
Oh, nice.
Because we have the Battle of Winterfell, obviously, for Game of Thrones, next episode.
Next week, yeah.
And on Friday,
We go see Endgame.
we go see Endgame, and we're doing a drunk podcast of that. That's all going to be one take, no edits, hopefully, at all. Just going to be complete chaos, probably. It'll be a different setup. Everything will pretty much be different.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how it's going to work.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work yet, but ideally, I'm just going to post all of it in like a raw form. So that should go out like the next day. So I'm thinking Saturday, fingers crossed,
Chung of the fingers.
that we get this episode out by Saturday for the Avengers Endgame. So today we could talk about People Be Deaded.
People be deaded.
That's sick. Thank you.
Especially the Minecraft and the Roblox.
I got the Roblox meme in there. So we'll start with Game of Thrones. People Be Deaded. Who do you think People Be Deaded? We've already talked about
in
Jaime.
the battle of we have talked about Jaime. I think that's a 50-50 one. I think
Is it 50-50 between
him
Jaime dying and living,
Yeah.
or Jaime and Brienne?
I think Jaime is going to die in the show, but whether it'll be at the Battle of Winterfell or not, I think that's 50-50 for me.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Think he'll die overall. Not sure if it's the Battle of Winterfell. I feel like either Brienne or Jaime will die at the Battle of Winterfell, and then the other one will probably die later on. in the
Later on,
season.
so you think they're both going to die?
Yeah, I think they're both going to die at some point.
Okay. I also think that Theon is going to die in the Battle of Winterfell,
Yeah.
because he is going to be protecting Bran in the Godswood with the Ironborn. Obviously, the Night King or the White Walkers, well, they might not go to the Godswood. It might be a little psyche. But if they do go, then they're just going to die, aren't they?
Yeah. Mate, imagine if Bran knows that he's not the target
Yeah.
and he's like manipulating it so he's really, really safe. He's like, right, guys,
Oh,
I'm the
he could
target. Everyone protect me.
He just wants to be
Imagine,
safe.
that would be awful. Okay, who else do we think could
Who
be
else?
deaded? Do
I
we think
think-
Bran's going to be deaded?
Nah, could, but no, I don't think so.
Because he's not even Bran anymore, is he? He's just the Three-Eyed Raven.
He's the Three-Eyed
So
Raven.
do you think maybe the Three-Eyed Raven could take over another host? Maybe the Three-Eyed Raven takes over Theon.
Possibly, but for Bran to become the Three-Eyed Raven, it
He
took
had to
him
go through
ages
the-
to
yeah,
go
yeah.
through training and stuff. So
Well,
if the Night King
I
just
feel
kills
like
him,
I feel like it could be that the Three-Eyed Raven just walked into Bran, and just took over him, because Bran's pretty much not Bran anymore at all.
just oh, you mean when they went in the hold the door scene when they
Yeah,
were really
yeah.
close, or when they touched him in the dream?
So I think the Three-Eyed Raven's still the same person, just in Bran's body. So maybe
Okay.
he's going to do that again.
I get what you mean now. Okay, got you.
We're on the same chunk.
You're on the same chung.
Yeah, but I also don't think that's going to happen, but it's a possibility.
It is.
I don't think he'd die.
I think that Grey Worm will die.
Yes,
He's one of
especially
the-
after that scene in
with
the
Missandei,
latest episode.
where they said they're going to go to North and go on the beaches.
Yeah.
It's all nice and happy, and they're setting it up for him to die, I reckon.
Or they're setting up for Missandei to die,
Uh-huh.
because she said she wanted to go to the beaches. Maybe they take her ashes to that beach or
Afterwards.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that would be poetic.
That
and
would be nice.
Very upsetting.
That would be nice.
It
Who else
would
do you
be,
reckon's gonna
nice. That. Oh, I want to see.
Oh,
her
it'd be
dead.
nice and dark. People would be dead. No, it'd be a nice ending if they took her
Yeah.
ashes to the beaches.
So who else could die? I mean, John, Danny, not die in Battle of Winterfell, probably.
Probably not.
If they did, that would be a bit shit, I think.
Yeah, maybe later on, but probably not. What about Ser Jorah?
Ooh.
I think he might do, especially in the last episode. Obviously, he was Mr.
He's
Top
done.
student.
He's definitely redeemed
Top of
himself.
the class.
So this the perfect. No one's ever great in Game of Thrones. They
Yeah.
always have some sort of fall. And I know he's already had his fall, but he's coming back up too high. So I think he's gonna.
And he's got Samwell Tarly's sword, Heartsbane, as well.
Yeah, he's.
So he's
going to
be using it,
He's
and
gonna
then
be deaded.
he's going to be deaded.
Yeah. Sansa.
Sansa, I think should be all right.
Yeah, I think she's destined to like rule the North no matter what's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
I think so.
So,
I think so. Arya running through the crypts.
Yeah, mate.
After she's
I think she might die.
lost her V card, that she could die now.
Maybe that scene's just straight away after that, and she got really scared.
She
and
got
ran away.
scared of Gendry, so she's running away.
So I think she could die. I don't think she'll die in that scene. Whatever's
No.
chasing her, I don't think is going to
Okay.
end up killing her, but I think she might. I'm just imagining every character doing like a big redemption and saving people, but
Yeah.
I don't. That can't happen
Can't happen for
multiple
everyone,
times.
yeah. So Davos,
Oh mate, I don't want
because
him
he's
to
not
die.
a fighter,
No,
but
I'm not a fighter.
I'm not a fighter.
I can't do his
I
accent.
survived the Blackwater and Battle of the Bastards.
Yeah,
Who else have we got that could be deaded?
Podrick. Do you think he's going to die?
Podrick. No, he's
'Cause
gonna.
they've showed off. He's a decent fighter.
He is. He is. Yeah.
Brienne's taught him well.
Taught him
so
well. And he can sing a lullaby to the Night King.
yeah,
And
he's had quite a lot
save himself.
of screen time this episode. I think that might be a hint that he'd be deaded.
Really?
You never know.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
you literally will know at some point, but
Really?
right now you never know.
Tyrion Lannister.
Oh,
He's been staring out the battlements, but I think there's more to come from Tyrion.
Yeah.
If they finish his character story now, it would feel a bit like a dead end.
yeah.
Like it wouldn't feel right.
The whole entire arc of his character to get to where he is, to then be not doing very well and then die would be such a bad ending.
It would
for
be a
his story.
shame for such a brilliant character.
Yeah, so I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully not. He might die this season, but
Yeah,
not
maybe.
Battle of Winterfell.
No, I don't want to.
Is there anyone that's like really, really obvious? Tormund. Do you think? I think he might die because his whole entire
Suckling on some giant's milk.
mate. Imagine if he dies to like the giant that's on
Yeah,
the
the
White
white.
Walkers team, mate. What? Because his whole entire arc has been in the north, but it would be really interesting to see him react to like going south.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But I reckon when all the North people head south, it's going to be like winter's going to have got there when they get there. So
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
think he's ever going to see like
See-
summer.
See the sun.
Yeah.
Go to dawn. Beric Dondarrion. Forgot about him.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he'll probably die.
Oh, we didn't talk about Beric Dondarrion and the Hound and Arya. It wasn't that good of a
Yeah,
scene.
it's just a small scene.
So the Hound.
Hound.
Well, we
Nah,
just
because he needs to
skipped.
make it for Clegane Bowl, so he
Yeah.
can't die.
The Hound can't die.
Clegane Bowl is going to happen. Get hyped. He's not going to die.
Beric Dondarrion.
Beric Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, Beric Gyllenhaal. He can't die. I mean, he can die because he's died like
brought back to
9
life,
times or
but
something, hasn't he?
The guy who brings him back to life's dead, so
Oh yeah, he'd be deaded then.
he'd
I
be
think.
deaded.
He's died way too many times to not die in like one of the biggest battles in Game
Uh-huh.
of Thrones ever. How are they going to make all these deaths that impactful? Do you think
I
there's going to
know.
be that many deaths that we've said, or do you think there's going to be like a couple?
I think it's going to be a lot.
Imagine if no one dies.
Yeah. No one be deaded. I mean, I think I can guarantee that a lot of whites will die,
Yes.
but they're already dead. So
Let's put a £100 bet on that.
yeah, bet that one. Win 1 pence.
Yes. Anyone else?
I can't think of anyone else.
I feel like we might have missed someone major.
Gendry.
And Gendry, is he going to be fighting? Oh yeah, he said I fought
fighting.
him before.
He'll be fighting with a hammer,
Yes.
but I don't think he'll die either.
Then yeah, I don't think he's going to die. Jaime, we talked about Brienne, Tyrion. Varys wasn't even in this episode. Is it Varys? Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Varys.
Varys.
Something like that.
Weird Game of Thrones name. Okay, I think that's all.
That's people be deaded for Game of Thrones. We'll find out soon.
Um,
I'm scared.
so let's move on to Game of Thrones. Not all right.
Let's move on.
We were just talking about that.
Endgame.
Endgame. People be deaded.
People be deaded. That's a sick segment. Music
Thank you,
transition. I
Um,
like it. Just saying words.
That's sick, great, brilliant, amazing transition.
Right, Endgame. Who be deaded?
Right, yeah. So, the first thing that I think we should address is characters' contracts running out.
Yeah.
That you've mentioned before.
Yeah.
In that episode when you mentioned that Thor and Captain America's contracts were running out, I mentioned that I thought Robert Downey Jr.'s contract
Yes, you did.
had completely run out,
Yeah.
and that it was only for solo films. I realised, again, when I was rewatching that episode, that I made that seem like it was 100% fact.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea.
Oh, I just trusted you.
Yeah, I trusted me as
Alright.
well, and I then tried to find that information, because I swear I'd heard that somewhere. Didn't find any information.
Made it up.
So I don't know if his
First
contract...
Reactions podcast.
That's what we do. We
Making
just
stuff
making it
up.
up. I don't know if Robert Downey Jr.'s contract has been renewed, but I know that at some point it had run out. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, and I don't know if they've
Got
renewed it or
contract
anything like that.
extension.
Yeah.
But saying Thor, I don't know how true this is. I might be making it up. I saw somewhere that Thor 4 might be a possibility. I don't know why or how.
I think they're keeping that kind of stuff off the cards just because they don't want to announce anything until Endgame's done. Because the only films that they've got announced that are after Endgame at the moment,
Spider-Man.
the Spider-Man, which is the only one that addresses anything to do with like characters to do with Endgame. Because I think there's probably a Black Panther 2 actually.
Yeah.
But then
think
there's also a Doctor Strange 2. Never mind. So they address quite a few characters, but then they're trying to go and like spread out and not go through these main characters anymore, like Iron Man and Thor and all that kind of stuff. So I think they're trying to hold off on those things because they want to make it like a big reveal for Endgame as to what happens to those characters.
Makes sense.
Which makes me
I'd do
think
the same.
one of those three, maybe even four,
Maybe
maybe
deaded.
even Hulk, maybe deaded.
Oh.
I doubt they'd get rid of Hulk before they've like properly used him because there's
Yeah.
so much they could do with his arc.
Like, okay. I was going to say they could use him in Endgame, but with his arc, you mean with individual movies?
Because I think in this film, I think he's going to become Professor Hulk, where he's like got the smarts of Bruce Banner, but he's as the Hulk.
Oh, cool.
Which is an actual thing in the comics.
Really? That's cool.
And
I didn't know that was a thing.
The toy version of Hulk has like Bruce Banner's like his more hair, like grey sideburns, and
Professor
and
Hulk.
like a beard, but not like a proper beard, like a 5 o'clock shadow and that kind of
Okay,
stuff.
yeah.
So it looks more like what's his face, Mark Ruffalo, than it does just normal Hulk.
Oh,
so
that'll be cool. So
I hope that happens.
Hulk not be deaded.
Yeah, Hulk not be deaded.
Captain America, a lot of people are saying that he'd be deaded.
I think he's going to go into hiding afterwards because something traumatic happens and he doesn't want to be Captain America anymore, and he puts down the mantle and someone else
down the
takes
shield.
up the Captain America mantle, which again has happened a lot in the comics.
Oh, really? Okay.
Falcon and Bucky were both Captain America at different times.
Ooh.
So I think that's a possibility.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think he might put down the mantle of Captain America because Iron Man be deaded.
Uh-huh.
I think it would be quite poetic if Thanos and Iron Man die at the same time, or like with like one final
Okay, yeah,
blow or
because
whatever.
they're pretty head-to-head. They're pretty
They're definitely
kind of evenly matched, the main ones, yeah.
The main chunks.
I think it would be cool if Iron Man dies, so Robert Downey Jr.'s character dies, but then if they want to do any throwbacks in future movies or whatever, then they can still use his AI, and that would still work, but him as an actual person,
He's
be
definitely
deaded.
the kind of person that would insert his like intelligence into AI form. He's created a human being with vision, so
Yep.
he could do it with himself. Imagine if Tony Stark dies and all of his suits are just now Iron Man
Stark.
and Tony Stark, and the visor goes back and it's just a screen with his face on for like the rest of the movies.
mate, that could be
I think that'll
definitely
be a
possible.
bit shit. But also, if he does die, there's no like reason that wouldn't be the case, like that wouldn't happen.
No.
So that's kind of a bit of a plot hole. So maybe he won't be deaded because
Okay.
side characters.
What's
Not Scarlet
Thor,
Witch.
you think Thor will die?
I don't know. I don't think he'll die. I think I
don't think he'll
thought
die
we'd
either.
already discussed it. I agree with what you said about Thor 4. So I think I
Okay.
just said that in my head.
Yeah, I don't think he'll die.
I don't think he'll die because I think
I
it'll
like
be a
Thor.
Thor 4. Black Widow.
Mm.
Now I think she's got a film coming out.
Yeah, so she not be deaded.
But she could be deaded at some point. All of these characters could die at some point in the film. If they're going to bring back Spider-Man and Black Panther and all these characters,
They're already deaded.
they're already dead.
They're already-
They've got movies.
That was
We
a good
clicked
one.
for the
we
audio
clicked to that. That's
Um,
what Thanos says.
I'll
clicked to that.
Mate, I did a joke last episode and you missed it. We were talking about Thanos posing for Instagram, and I said, "Gotta pose for this snap,"
Oh, got it now.
and it was a good meme. Who else? Vision. He's deaded, kind of. He is dead.
Yeah, he is.
It's hard to discuss who's going to be dead when characters were already dead.
The Hawkeye, except he's going to have a new name, isn't he? He's going to turn into Ronin.
Yes. Apparently, there was a scene that was going to be because they were going to leave the snap till the start of the next movie.
Endgame.
So there was lots of different versions of cuts that were going to happen. There was a cut apparently that showed Hawkeye's family turn to dust from the first film,
and that turns him all dark. And
so I think that's going to happen next film because they've hinted at that like loads.
Okay, yeah.
But whether he's deaded, who knows?
Whether he be deaded, right? You have to make a call now.
Okay.
One character that you think will be deaded.
100% be deaded.
Yeah, deaded.
Like I'm most thinking that Iron Man's going to be deaded. That's who I think.
Okay. I'll go with Captain America then.
Oh, it's like Civil War all over again. Come on, you!
We're having a fight again.
I was going to sing the Game of Thrones theme tune, but I can't remember what the Avengers theme tune is.
Neither can I. I tried to remember. Couldn't remember.
I'm just going to zoom in on your face and it's going to be like, why are we still here? Because you were like,
It's a good theme tune though, I remember that.
Yeah. So, we're going to do a throwback segment that I mentioned at the start of this episode to How's Jake Gyllenhaal doing?
How's he doing?
How's Jake Gyllenhaal doing?
Well, if we look at his Twitter feed. Oh, wow.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to look at his Twitter feed.
I want to know what he's been up to.
So,
I want to know what Jake Gyllenhaal's been doing.
Have you looked since the last episode?
No, of course not.
Good, neither have I. Jake Gyllenhaal, does he even have a Twitter? That makes it so much more funny if he doesn't.
I don't think he has.
He doesn't have a Twitter. He never has an Instagram.
Yeah,
that's what we looked at.
Because he was having beef with 50 Cent last time.
Oh, I saw a rare video of Gaga and Jake Gyllenhaal, and my wig is torn.
What's Jake Gyllenhaal doing?
What the fuck is this?
He's just speaking to Lady Gaga.
Right, well
So that's what Jake Gyllenhaal's been doing.
Okay, so we usually have time for like a bite-sized reactions or something like that.
Yep.
But as the camera's dead, that's kind of crucial to the whole reaction part of the bite-sized reaction. I know there's obviously an audio version, but I think that's for listening on the go, and we shouldn't just do a bite-sized reactions, just audio.
Yeah, reacting to video stuff, you need a video of yourself too.
Exactly. So we're going to call it there. We've been recording for quite a long time, though, so I reckon this will be just under an hour overall, because there were quite a few stops. But we were recording for an hour and 11 minutes, so maybe probably over an hour.
Well, if you're listening, you'll know exactly.
No, why am I saying this? Thank you very much for watching. Next episode is going to be the drunk Avengers Endgame episode.
It's going to be a big episode. Big boy episode.
And that'll be out sometime over next weekend. Then next Tuesday will obviously be Battle of Winterfell episode. Can't wait for that. So very, very, very excited for all of these things coming up. This is like such a big week.
Big week, man.
For nerdy things. So very, very excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited. Excited enough. We should go to the outro.
Let's do the outro. It's the First Reaction Podcast. First Reactions Podcast.